sensationally seasoned pretzels. They are sensational. After a dazzling Monday night victory where he completed 91% of his passes, Jaden Daniels is the new Rookie of the Year favorite, followed by neighbors Marvin and Caleb at 4. He's looked better than Caleb so far.
Is that a fact?
My opinion, yes.
It better be.
In my opinion, yes. Greg, do you think it's fair to say that the Bears may have made a mistake?
Okay, let me make it clear.
Yes, please.
This is my opinion.
Okay, got it. Good.
Okay, we get it. We get it. I'm sorry, Nick. I'm sorry.
I'm not bothered.
No, I do not believe the Bears made a mistake.
Thank you, Greg.
I don't think they made a mistake. There is a thing that happens with quarterbacks being rookies that we just automatically expect them to just be inserted and then become a star.
Yes.
And when the expectation is that and you don't meet it, it's almost like, oh, you failed already. It's through 3 games.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels did not have nearly the expectation. I'm not saying he's not the player that he is, but he did not have any of these expectations because of where he went, the organization, all the things. And so he could just coast, got a great coordinator, system, all the things, and he's been playing great ball. This does not mean just because a rookie is struggling a bit, he can't improve. He has made strides from week 1
That's
to
the
week
most
2
important part
to
to me
week
is he
3.
is
And so as long as he's improving, like we all believe, the Washington Commanders, I believe that if they were able to get the first pick in the draft, you know who they would have probably picked?
Caleb.
Caleb.
I believe the Washington Commanders, deep down with Cliff Kingsbury as the offensive coordinator, if they today could do a switcheroo, would be like, if you promise it's going through, I think they would. But go ahead, Brew.
Kingsbury might.
Yeah, I mean, well,
not the
I'm not going to sit up here and be a hypocrite. If I was running the Bears, I would have taken Caleb. Now, I'll give this caveat. If I was running the Bears in the front office and doing a deep dive into Caleb, is it possible his attitude would have bothered me and maybe I'd have gone a different way? Maybe. So, but I'm not going to say, I do think Caleb's going to be very good, but obviously Jaden's better at this point. Here's the one thing I will say, though. If I could take one of them now, I would take Jaden. Like for the long term, I would take Jaden.
Right now you would?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I know it's only 3 games, but obviously he's a better runner. Right now he's better in the pocket. He's far more accurate. I think his poise is better. And attitude. I more than hinted at it last week, but I'm seeing things from Caleb, and we saw some at USC. I think he's got a know-it-all attitude that could hold him back. Like he knows it all. I think he has trouble listening to people, give him advice. I see nothing but good as far as attitude with Jaden. So that is a big part for me and why I take Jaden.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Jaden, now it's because he's played so well, and just been a passenger on the train. I thought everyone thought Caleb's attitude after week 1 was excellent. When he went to the podium, was like, I was terrible, but we got the win. That's all that matters. I don't care about stats. His attitude after a couple losses, not quite as good. Jaden's attitude after a couple wins, including one of the greatest rookie performances ever, we would expect to be excellent. I obviously don't think the Bears made a mistake. All my pre-draft concerns about Jaden's long-term health remain, even if he has exceeded short-term expectations. And I would just like to remind America, you guys, what's one of the most famous quarterback draft decisions ever? It was Peyton Manning versus, you guys remember, it was Ryan Leaf, but that doesn't matter. That draft, we can show you, if we may. One of these guys is Peyton Manning. The other guy isn't even Ryan Leaf. It's Charlie Batch, who is the 3rd quarterback taken in that draft for their first 4 career starts. And so I think Greg's point, which was that Caleb has clearly gotten better each week. If Caleb was 3 games into his career and still hadn't broken 100 yards, I still probably would say it's not enough of a sample, but I'd be a little more nervous. Yes. The fact that I thought he's gotten better each week I'm not going to ignore what I saw from.
Okay. So, yeah, listen, I don't think the Bears made a mistake. I think this has always been the problem of comparing quarterbacks in this situation, and I talked about that actually on a video that I posted today, I think, on with Con Cowherd talking about that we could talk about how great Jaden is without having to talk about, how bad Caleb is or how he's not doing what he's supposed to or that he's failing. I've said this repeatedly that everyone develops at different rates, right? I mean, there's nothing written in the walls that say that Caleb Williams is just now a failure and Jaden Daniels is just going to be the best quarterback ever, right? Like that's not written anywhere. I do have some of the concerns that Brew has talked about, and this idea that Caleb had a great attitude after week 1 winning because he said he doesn't care about stats and that he's just happy that they got the win, and I was like, well, that's a lie, so that wasn't a great attitude. Yeah, I mean, technically you could say he maybe said the right thing, but like he was also just straight up lying at the mic. That first week 1 game is not at all how he imagined it was going to unfold, right? And so good attitude is admitting, yeah, that's not that wasn't really at all what I was expecting in terms of what I was hoping to achieve. I want to be better. I need to be better. I'm really happy we got the win. And I'm excited on Monday to look at the film and get to work so I can continue to improve, right? Like it's like that those are the things you say. Not to say that what Caleb said was awful or wrong or that he was, just this lying awful quarterback. I'm not saying that at all. And again, I've defended Caleb every single week that he's played. And also agreed that he has continued to get better. And so to me, it's more about, there's 2 things about, this idea of comparing Jaden and Caleb Williams. Is one, I think Jaden was just ready sooner, right? His skill set puts him in a position to be better more quickly in the NFL. He's more of a ready-made quarterback. Because of his processing, anticipation, speed. He's also being supported better. I believe he has significantly the better offensive mind with Cliff Kingsbury. He's doing it with the Washington Commanders, who we can say that there's no expectations for them, and the Chicago Bears have all this expectations, and so therefore it's affected them. The expectations affects public perception, but if you think Jaden Daniels feels like he could coast with the Washington Commanders, I just disagree with that. I don't think Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden and Dan Quinn think that they can just coast. Oh, the fans don't really expect much out of us. I disagree with that. I really, really do. So I think all of these young quarterbacks that are drafted this high going to a team have tremendous pressure on them. I understand that there is a lot of pressure for Caleb Williams and the Bears, but again, it's just like random media pressure saying, like Nick saying, they're going to go to the Super Bowl, right? Like, I don't think Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears felt the pressure of making the Super Bowl. I think Jaden Daniels felt the pressure to be great, and Caleb Williams felt the pressure to be great, right? And so I think it's just always impossible to compare all of these things. And we've talked about this a lot when comparing any quarterbacks, saying how they all come from completely different situations. With Joe Burrow, if Joe Burrow was drafted by Bill Belichick and had a great defense, would he be winning Super Bowls? Probably, right? He went to the Cincinnati Bengals. If God, I'm trying to think of another really good quarterback that's not Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. Another top quarterback in the NFL. Oh man, if Jared Goff was the quarterback for the 49ers instead of Jimmy Garoppolo, would he be a Super Bowl winner? Matthew Stafford was drafted to the 49ers. Would he be a multi-time Super Bowl winner? Of course he would, right? He had nothing going on to Detroit because they never supported him. Defensive coaches, right? They had nothing really positively going on there. He then goes to Sean McVay and the Rams and instantly wins a Super Bowl. So where you go, who your coaches are, who's the team around you matters so significantly. To think that they would have just been able to bring Jaden into Chicago Bears and Jaden would just be being as great as he is right now, I actually don't believe that. I really don't. And I'm incredibly high on Jaden. I've been singing the praises of Jaden, but I just think what the Bears are doing and how they've been approaching and their game plans and how they're developing Caleb has not been great, quite frankly. I don't really know what the plan is. So to me, that's the issue of trying to compare these two quarterbacks. But it has to be said that Jaden is understanding the NFL better right now than Caleb. So you do have to state that, but it's not to say that Caleb won't continue to get it and also learn and grow. I do hope that Brew is wrong with the idea of like, he doesn't take direction well, or that he doesn't, that he kind of gives off this like, know-it-all. And you can understand why people feel that way, right? He's a rookie and he texts the punter saying, you're not going to be punting a lot. Like, there's a difference between cockiness and confidence. And that was not confidence. That was like, we're going to ball out from day one. And it's like, you do have to be more humble than that. You have to be more open than that. I do think that Caleb will end up being a top quarterback in the NFL, and I think it'll be a very similar situation to other quarterbacks of the past, where both teams, both Jaden, both the Commanders and the Bears, are incredibly happy who they have as their quarterback. They're not going to be looking over there and saying, I wish we had that. I believe that the Buffalo Bills are incredibly happy that they have Josh Allen, right? And I don't think if you said, would you want Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes right now? They would say, nope, we are very happy with every single thing that Josh Allen has ever done. And so I think that's the way it will kind of continue to unfold. Heck, even the way how it is right now, I bet you the Detroit Lions are happier with Jared Goff than they are with Matthew Stafford, right? And I believe the Rams are happier that they have Matthew Stafford instead of Jared Goff. So I think this idea that the Bears made a mistake, I don't think. I could see why some fans are maybe getting a little uneasy, because there was already so much conversation about Caleb Williams being a bust, and he had that, week one was not a good game, and people immediately were like, I told you he's not a good quarterback. And it's like, all right, relax. It was literally the first game of his entire career. Let's settle down here. So things always have to be put into perspective and context. And with all of these quarterbacks, I am always very quick to say, give them time. Some quarterbacks, it takes years for them to get things going. It all depends on, do they get the right coach at the right time and early enough, right? I mean, again, we're seeing so many perfect examples of this. Geno Smith, Sam Darnold. It just matters. Not everyone can hit the ground running from the jump. They just can't. Even Patrick Mahomes did not play his rookie year. So I'm just not going to judge Caleb Williams too harshly this season so far, even though I had higher expectations. And it's not to say that he's still not going to reach and meet those expectations, but I'm still willing to give him grace, give him the benefit of the doubt, and then see what other choices the Bears make in order to support Caleb Williams. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Do you think the Bears made a mistake? Do you think they got eyes for Jaden and are sad that they have Caleb Williams? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.